Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the 1980 film Mother's Day. Alright, so this movie, when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be a slasher, and I don't know if, technically it is a slasher, but one of the problems I had with this movie was there were not very many kills. The kills that were in this movie were awesome. So this is a movie that I've kind of been looking forward to watching. I saw the trailer. It looked like a fun 80s horror movie. And it's distributed by Troma. I'm a big Troma fan. And like I said, I thought it was going to be more of a slasher, more kills. On Google, it doesn't even like categorize the movie as a slasher. It says horror/thriller. But like, I think on the Wikipedia page it says it's a slasher. But the thing about this movie is I was like really into it the first like 5 to 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, like this has a good vibe. This definitely has the 80s feel. There was some stuff going on in the beginning that I was really into. Like, you get some awesome kills right off the bat, and then I feel like it never really lived up to that. Like, the beginning was solid, and the end, like the third act, when stuff's going down, when the girls are getting, their revenge and fighting the killers, that was awesome. But I was kind of like zoning out a lot throughout this movie. Like, overall, I really didn't like it. Like I said, there was some cool stuff going for it. I'm a fan of Troma, so they put this out. That's cool. The kills that were in this were cool. Good gore. I'll get into those in a little bit. I liked the three protagonists, the three girls. They were likable. They were cool. The villains were pretty menacing. They were pretty scary, and they were they were kind of like these like hillbillies. They were like, like rednecks. Like, I'm a big fan of the Wrong Turn movies. Of course, the first one is super solid. I like some of the sequels as well. I'm a big fan of Wrong Turn 2. Wrong Turn 4 is decent. So I like those, kind of backwoods slasher movies, where it's like you have these people who are just like living in the woods. They're kind of hillbillies. They're kind of, they're living on this living this like country lifestyle, this like living off the land almost. Those type of movies are creepy, like, because I feel like that's like a fear people have. Like, when I'm in the woods for too long and I feel like I'm getting lost, like I'm creeped out. Or if I like see like a cabin or some like decrepit house, I'm like, what the heck? Like, there's like so many movies around that, but it's like a real fear, like getting lost in the woods, or like, there's some like secluded house and these like people, they're just living like just like animals. Like, they have like no regard for human life. So that's a real fear. I like that. Like, the atmosphere was on point, but like I said, overall the movie was kind of lame. I had like pretty high hopes for it, but it just didn't live up to my expectations. So I'm just gonna start going through my notes here. Like I said in the beginning, there were some awesome kills. There was this great decapitation with a machete, and you see everything and the blood squirting out. It's all practical. That was awesome. Like, I was so on board at that point. I'm like, yes, let's go. This is what I'm talking about. This movie's gonna be awesome. This is gonna be like, I was thinking like, this is probably just a underrated 80s slasher. I'm like, probably no one talks about this, but I bet it's awesome. But like, in my opinion, this isn't really talked about that much for a reason. It was just okay. Like, it wasn't anything special in my opinion. Maybe this is talked about in some circles. Maybe it has like a cult following, but yeah, me personally, it it didn't really do it for me. But after the decapitation, this girl gets like strangled with this wire, and you see like the blood coming. Awesome stuff. Good kills right off the bat. Action packed. The brothers are like wearing the one guy just has this hat, but like the one brother has the mask on, and they're just like creepy. Like, it's awesome. Another thing that I thought was cool was when the girls are like, you know, driving towards their destination to like go camping. They stop at this little convenience store, or maybe it's a gas station. I don't recall, but the store clerk or the store owner, he's like a Crazy Ralph type character, which is cool because this came out the same year as Friday the 13th, but he was like warning them. He's like, don't go in the woods, blah blah blah. Like, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I was like, man, this is Crazy Ralph vibes going on, like Friday the 13th vibes. Like, I mess with this. And they just like totally just like make a mess out of his store and don't even clean it up. I mean, like, what's up with that? I mean, that's not cool. It's not like these girls are teenagers. Like, I mean, get it together. Don't just ruin people's stores. Like, have some respect. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, you got a Crazy Ralph type character. I'm on board for that. That's always cool. I already talked about that. Yeah, you know, backwoods hillbilly wrong turn vibes. I like that. Good atmosphere. Okay, so this was distributed by Troma. Like, in the beginning, you see the little thing where it's like a Troma team production. I don't know if it's like legit, like, because there's some Troma movies that aren't necessarily like made to be a Troma movie, but like Troma distributes them, because that's like part of their company, is like, you know, they just like acquire movies and distribute them. This was it was directed by Lloyd Kaufman's brother, Charles Kaufman, and he co-wrote the script. So, you know, that was pretty darn cool. I think he's done the music in some other Troma movies, but like Lloyd Kaufman didn't direct this. He was just an associate producer, so I don't know if this was really like a full-on Troma movie, but it is distributed by Troma, and I'm a big Troma fan, so that's another reason I wanted to watch this. But it's not like other Troma movies, like where it's just totally zany and totally edgy. You know, it's not like Tromeo and Juliet or like Toxic Avenger 4, where it's just like super offensive, super funny, super crazy. This is more like grounded. You know, it's just more like a straightforward slasher. That was cool. Just to give a shout out here of another Troma slasher movie that I actually like a lot better than this, Bloodhook. I don't know if a lot of people know about that movie, but I'm a huge fan of Bloodhook. That one is not made by Troma, but it's distributed by them, and it's this there's this like fishing competition going on. It's called Muskie Madness, and it's like a whodunit, and all these people are getting like killed by like this like giant fishing hook. It's awesome. It's cheesy. It's a really cool, unique premise. If you've never heard of it, go look up Bloodhook, check it out. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. But getting back to Mother's Day, this is a random thing, but I was thinking about it when I was watching. I wanted to point it out. Like, these cats have an awesome workout room. Like, they have this like long, narrow workout room. They got like a bench press going on with like the old school sand weights. I feel like they got like a pull-up bar. Maybe they had like a lat pull down. They had like a little spin bike going on. Like, let me go live at that house and like give me that home gym. Like, that home gym was awesome. All those like 80s sand weights look sick. Like, they're like the kind of like reddish purple ones, or yeah, more like red, but like, I don't know, that was something I noticed. Like, those cats, I mean, because if you're gonna be some backwoods killer, like, you gotta be fit. So like these fools were like most definitely like putting in work. Like, they had a couple plates going on that bench press. You didn't see them bench, but you just had, like, you saw it over there with the weights on it. Like, they had a couple plates going on. So I just thought I would point that out. I thought that was like a really nice workout room. Like, I was just like hecka jealous. I was like, man, I need to get something like that going on. I think I touched on this, but yeah, there was like not a lot of kills, and it was like barely a slasher movie in my opinion. Like I feel like, you know, some people categorize this as a slasher. I don't know, like how it says on Google horror/thriller, I would probably categorize it more as a just a straight up horror or thriller movie, because there was like, I mean, aside from the killers being killed, there was like 3 kills, you know, and they were solid, but like I said, like that's really that's really not a lot, especially because, like, you know, Friday the 13th came out the same year, and I mean, the Friday the 13th franchise in general, like, just has like kills on top of kills. This barely had any kills, which would be fine if I was like really into the story, but I don't know, the story, like, the story was okay, but it was just kind of boring, like, it didn't really keep my attention. But some kills that I did like were when the killers got killed, and this is getting into spoiler territory. I mean, even me saying that is getting into spoiler territory, but I'm just warning you all. So the one of the brothers gets like a needle through his neck, and you see it. That's really good. And then he gets a hammer to his package, dude. And you see like blood squirting, and it's like, I think it's like the back of the hammer, if my recollection is correct. You know, where he gets like the back of the hammer to his like, to his thing, dude. And I'm like, oh my goodness, like that just, whew, I just cringed. I was like, whew, man, oh my goodness. Could you imagine? Whew, like, yeah, that, whew. At that point, you just, yeah, you gotta take them out quick after that. Like, what's the point after that? I'm just playing. And then the other brother gets like Drano down his throat, and he's like foaming at the mouth, foaming like blood, which looks like a red Slurpee. And then he gets like a TV smashed on his head. That was good stuff. And like in those instances where the brothers were getting killed, it looked good, the practical effects were good, and the kills looked great. But something that was funny that I noticed, and I wrote it down too, I just wanted to point out, like, some of those like older movies, the blood looks so fake. It's like bright red, kind of orangish blood. Like it doesn't look real at all. It doesn't look like blood. It looks like too thick. Like it looks like like a red Slurpee, or like creamy tomato soup or something. I don't know. It was just kind of funny, and I thought I would point that out. But as far as my notes and everything that I wanted to say, you know, I hit all the main points that I wanted to talk about. So, you know, I'm glad that I checked this out. Like I said, I mean, if you all have seen the videos, I do a lot of slashers on here. I need to do more, but, you know, I got some slashers on here. So I'm a big slasher fan. I'm a Troma fan. I'm a horror fan, 80s horror fan. But overall, this movie didn't do it for me. It was just okay, kind of boring. But it did have some stuff going for it. But would I check it out again? No. Would I recommend it? No. Just watch, if you want to watch a Troma slasher movie, watch Bloodhook instead. But anyways, that's all that I want to say for my review. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.